In this video, I'm gonna tell you my story. How this book called The Dip helped me build a new income stream, quit my job, and make a living working remotely, doing what I love and on my own terms. It wasn't smooth, and to be honest, I almost quit. But thanks to the lessons I'm gonna explain you, it allowed me to boost my income and make more than 100,000 US dollars. And by the end of this video, you will also understand if it's worth it to put effort into whatever area you're currently in, or find some other thing where there is a lot more potential. And using these principles will allow you to make more money, have more energy, or just have a more high quality life in general. And if this sounds interesting to you, let's dive in. So let's start with understanding what the dip is. Every new business, every new skill, YouTube channel, or career, it doesn't matter. In the beginning, you're always motivated, full of energy and fire to get the results you want. But after a while, you might start thinking like, hey, this is taking way longer and it's way harder than I thought. And this is exactly what you can call the dip. The dip is a test moment after your starting excitement ends. And this is also the moment where most people quit. But not every dip is worth quitting, as well as not every dip is worth continuing. Here on the illustration, we see a mountain with a dip, and on the top, we see the peak with the mountain snow, and this mountain peak is the highest potential of the area you're starting. And imagine spending like a year pushing through the dips, and then the potential of this business is just $500 a month. Of course, you don't want to push through this dip. You have to quit and just find some other area where you can make a lot more. And of course, this may sound logical, but not everybody understands it. And an example of my journey, I'm gonna show you how I was stuck in the wrong dip and how I came to a better dip. So it all started when I was working my regular job. In the beginning, everything was fine. I was excited. But after working this job for 2 years, I started noticing that I don't really want to do it anymore. I wanted to find something that would give me much more results, time, and energy investments. But still, this job was very important as a starting point because I had one strong asset, my web design skill. I worked as a no-code developer, website designer. I was always into visuals and websites, and this is what allowed me to see an opportunity. And this opportunity was Upwork. For those of you who don't know, Upwork is a freelance platform where clients post their projects and freelancers apply to work for this project. And my thought was, if I put the exact same effort and time into freelancing, I can make at least 5 times more money. And this is where I took action. I created a profile. I packed my portfolio. I started applying for projects. And as a result, in my first week of applying for these projects, I made $560. And you see this happy monkey? This was literally me, because my hypothesis was right. And this is exactly where I hit the dip. And I started slacking and I got complacent. And as you know, it doesn't lead to anything good. These were my 2 mistakes. I realized that I had too few skills, not a lot of projects to apply to, and also my proposals were not outstanding. Like, they were okay, but they were not like great. And because of this, I could not get any new projects. I was still applying. I was trying my best, but the clients simply did not reply to me. And this is exactly where my dip was. I had to realize that I was just lucky. And in order to continue making results, I had to get better. And this dip taught me that I need more skills and I need to improve my outreach. And if I did these 2 things, I would get results. And this is where I started my improvement. I started learning for 3 months straight. I took courses on additional skills like web development and motion design, because if I learned these 2 skills, I could apply for twice or thrice more projects. Because I was only proficient in web design, but clients also wanted web development, and also sometimes they wanted motion design. It would simply be easier for clients to hire one person that can do all of this rather than hiring 3 people for every of these skills. And this is what I was working on. Then I also watched some videos on how to write cover letters that actually get replies. As I said, my cover letters were not bad. There was so much room to improve it that I also put some effort into learning this area. And after 3 months, I was ready to try again. And it worked. And since then, I boosted my income tenfold and was working remotely with clients who felt almost like friends, because I found a very great professional long-term client that I was working with for almost 3 years or 2.5 years. And then I also found some other clients and more referrals from these clients. It taught me the things that I need to learn in order to get the results I want. And if you're experiencing a dip right now, or you will experience the dip in the future if you start any new business or anything, I want to give you some tips so that you can better understand this phenomenon called the dip. So let's start with tip number 1. So for instance, you're learning a new skill and you want to find a new job. Ask yourself this: if you keep putting in the effort, Can your results grow 5 times, 10 times, or even 100 times? And if yes, stick with it. Even if you experience one dip or multiple dips, just stick with it because eventually you will achieve the result you want. But if not, if you can't improve your results tenfold, if there is no such potential in this area, you're in a dead end. Just move on and find some other things where dips are worth pushing through. Tip number 2. Set realistic goals. When you hit small, believable goals, you build momentum. When I was again trying to make money on Upwork, my goal was to make just $200 in 2 months. It's not huge, but I believed that it's possible. And thanks to believing in achievement of this goal, I started taking action. A combination of luck and effort, and I didn't make $200 in 2 months. I made $10,000 in 2 months. But if you set unrealistic goals and if you don't achieve them, you will get a mindset that whatever you're studying, it's not achievable and you will not believe in yourself. But believing in yourself is super important to get going and to get new results. So just set realistic goals, achieve them, and set new goals and achieve new highs. And these were my 2 tips. And how I want to close this video, I want to say that every meaningful path will probably have a dip. And your success depends on one thing: choosing the right dip and sticking with it long enough to win. So I hope this video was helpful to you. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, just drop them in the comment section and I will try my best to help you. See you in the next videos.